Hello everyone, this is VJose32 and this is VJ Reacts. I am not going to be doing the deck report like I have in the past. I'm just going to be giving you my reactions to new decks on Kickstarter and playing card news and telling you, if I give it a yay or a nay, basically, if I think it's good or not. We'll start off with Kickstarter, new deck, Canasta Classical double deck playing cards from from Newt's playing cards, not Nets. And it is currently 0% funded with 19 days to go. I'm the only backer so far, and I don't think it's going to do too well, but you never know. It's a low goal of just under $2,000. There it is. It's got some somewhat standard faces. The backs are not bad. They got a lot going on. And they got words on them, which I know is a turn off for a lot of people. But there's a red one, there's a blue one, and there's apparently this is the third edition of this Canasta Classical playing cards with an all-new design and additional picante or hot card in the deck. Aha. You can see the faces. They got kind of standard faces. They got the two being a wild card. They've got points underneath every index for scoring purposes. Same with the chord cards. It's got fairly standard artwork, but with color variations and even colored faces. And they got jumbo indexes, or standard index, I guess. Kind of a jumbo index. Plus two mini indexes in the opposite corners. And they also got pips on the top and bottom of the faces as well. It's kind of interesting. They're kind of unnecessary, but kind of interesting nonetheless. And here's the Jokers, also wild cards, and the Picante card, which is worth 100 points. Apparently this is the third release of these ones, but it's the first time I've seen them on Kickstarter. Which also apparently features instructions right on the box instead of having to download, and you can get a card tray pack. It's kind of interesting. And there's also this Samba pack. Pretty expensive, but anyways, I don't know what's going to happen with this one. I'm trying to figure out who is printing it first and foremost before I decide whether or not I'm going to actually go with it. Moving along, I mentioned Regal playing cards have released half of their gilded decks. We'll look at that briefly. And they got more goodies coming. Let's see if I can find those gilded decks. Apparently they're not in here. We have to go to the update. I just want to show you the gilded decks very quickly. They're $150 for the set. It's what you get, a nice wooden box of all 4 decks. And as you can see, the blue deck has blue gilding, the red gilding, and purple gilding, and green gilding to match the color of the deck. It's not gold, not silver, but it actually matches the color, which is pretty awesome. But $150 is a lot of money. And there are people that actually gave up on the early bird sets just to jump in there and get these. If they're so concerned about money, why are they even bothering with the early bird sets? If they don't care. But anyways, apparently there's 60 being produced, only 50 being sold on this project. 25 were released yesterday at noon. 25 more will be released tomorrow, Friday at noon Central Time. And the other 10, I don't know, probably will be available on Gambler's Warehouse or something. I don't know. They don't say. They don't want to say. Also, as soon as they sell out those ones, they will hit the stretch goal for mini decks, which I will definitely be in on because I like those. So be on the lookout for that. um, then there is Lowlife playing cards from Andy Hop. Hop to it. Which are completely strange. I can see that there's numbers, and there's the ace, and what is this, multiple faces? I don't know. Apparently, this is the clubs. You see here the clubs, the hearts, diamonds, and the spades, which look nothing like, well, clubs, hearts, diamonds, spades. And this is horrible. I'm not sure if there's actually several decks to choose from. So you can choose this, you can choose this one, or you can choose, there's those 3 different decks to choose from, none of which are very good at all. One-way faces, horrible indexes, with no suit indicators, and pips that people are not familiar with. There you go. They look like germs. Yeah. At least the heart has a heart. Spade has a spade symbol. The diamond, kind of diamond shaped, is also a diamond as well. And the clubs has a club, so I mean that's fine. But when you're talking about little pips, it's going to be hard to see those details, I think. So the free versions are the Rise of the Lowly, a second version because they got no better name for it, and the Great Gobs of Giggitites, whatever, Giggitites. And there's a stretch goal for a 4th version, which is Alpha Beast Soup, which looks like vomit. It's just a whole bunch of stuff on there. I can't even tell what suit is what or what's supposed to be what. And Keister Island, a 5th version, if they hit $6,000, which looks like more germs and vomit. And then poker chips and whatnot. This one, I am giving a thumbs down, and I'm not a fan of it. It has funded, but that's because it has a low goal, and it's still 32 days left to go. It's unbelievable. But the reason it's funded is because it has a low goal, and if you look, the creator has had 10 other projects, including that are mostly games, basically, card games, including featuring these characters. So they got customers, they got a following. So that's why they sold. This is not collectors or anything like that are buying them, that's for sure. Then there is the Norse deck. Mythological playing cards from Jacob Bedford. It's 1% funded, 27 days to go. It's not going to do very well, I don't think. Previously, he had the Hanafuda playing card, which is a Japanese themed card game. And I guess it wasn't going to fund, so he canceled it, even though it was only up for like 2 weeks. And he launched this. I have no idea what the back design looks like. What I'm seeing for the faces is a bunch of sketches that look like they're incomplete. And indexes that are absolutely horrible. They got a letter, a number on one side, a pip on the other side, nothing on the bottom, one way, completely unusable. It's good if you're into art and stuff like that, even though it looks like it's incomplete. But it is what it is. They got elves and dark elves, giants, gods. Hey, there's that Acer. Kind of interesting. The Jokers. I have no idea if this is the back design. If it is, it's also horrible. I can't recommend that one. It's just not my cup of tea. Moving along. That awful Disturbed Reality is getting closer and closer to funding. I will mention the Four Seasons Mytical playing cards from Ace Collectible Cards. That's not legal, it's going to fund. The creator has told me he will be relaunching, and that is because he is going to be using a new American fulfillment, actually Gambler's Warehouse. So that should change the cost of shipping and stuff like that, and maybe make it a little bit easier to fund. So we'll see what happens, but it is planned to relaunch. And I will mention, I'm surprised Delicious from Emmanuel Jose is not funded yet. Right now it's not looking too good. Hopefully it turns around. I have to think that the goal is way too high, and if not, it would have funded by now, obviously. Moving along. It's not much to tell you, so it'll be kind of brief. Then there is these chess playing cards from Casey Toby. There was previously it's currently 8% funded, 27 days to go. Don't see it doing too well, especially with a $15,000 goal for USB-C printing. This is the kind of deck that you say, might not do so well. You might want to launch it with MPC or somebody else and a much smaller goal. I will mention there was previously a deck of cards that was chess playing cards from Roma Kotev and one of my Facebook friends, Trip Sykes, who originally ran it on Kickstarter. And now this is from a different creator. It's a similar idea, printed by USB-C. The back design's pretty nice, I'll give him that much. Toby Town is the name, Toby Town Chess Playing Cards, which is interesting. And he actually reached out to me and sent me a message telling me about these decks, but I had already seen them. All the court cards feature different type of chess figures, as you can see, knights and kings and queens and whatnot. Back design, like I said, it's pretty nice. Kind of reminds me of Circle Back Talio. Although it is horribly centered. It needs to be centered properly because it's not centered properly. I can tell you that much. And I'm going to be sending him a message about that right away. Apparently the idea is to use cards, as you can see, for the chess game and the backs, face down cards, to make a board. So that's kind of interesting. And apparently that's with 2 decks. I don't know why, but it is. So there's that one. I don't think it's going to do well. And that's also based off of the previous project by someone else that I mentioned, by Roman Kotev and Trip Sykes, that, they didn't exactly get tens of thousands of dollars in funding. And by the way, you can see these 2 right here, Double Face and Seasons, not doing well at all, as I expected. And I need to see, oh my goodness, Penis Envy. Yeah, they'd be envious, that's for sure. Oh yes, there's one more to tell you about. Airplane cards from Orhan Kalogziri, who I see on Instagram, refers to himself as King Orhan. A little bit of an ego, I think. The 12% funded right now, 28 days to go. Trying to print it for USB-C. As you can see, it's kind of like another version of the Fontaine playing cards. A little bit nicer, a little bit more effort. At least that's what he claims. And some people seem to like it. But you can see his inspiration includes that awful Saturn deck and Nuggets and Fontaines and all these other, cardist decks. For the most part. Most of the cardist decks. I mean, it's not overall bad. The Jokers are okay. Very nice three-dimensional artwork at the very least. And the Ace of Spades is okay. It's not overall bad. It's a little bit more effort than the Fontaines. A little bit better. It is what it is. Is it going to fund? I don't know. Time will tell. I see that he's got some thanks. I know, Zach. Interesting. Oh, that's lovely. It says here that I understand $10 is a lot for a deck, but you have to take into consideration that I will ship these decks for free in the US. Basically telling backers, hey, I know it costs a lot, but it's because you're going to be subsidizing shipping for American customers because they can't be bothered to pay shipping. Well, why not charge them $2 for shipping? And only charge $8 for the deck, or $7 for the deck. That way, I mean, the thing that I dislike about Kickstarter projects, and he point blank put it out there and explained it, which is not exactly the greatest thing to do, is that what I don't like is that international customers, Canadian customers like myself and people elsewhere, essentially, in my opinion, have to pay for shipping twice because we're paying for the built-in shipping that Americans are paying for automatically, and we're paying for that. And then on top of that, we're paying the additional shipping for Canada or wherever, UK, Australia. So it's like we're being hit twice with shipping costs. I don't think that's really fair. But at the same time, if it's going to cost $8 to ship instead of $5, then it's going to be the same thing anyway, I guess. But whatever. Moving along, I apologize, a little rat. This is coming soon from the Edgy Brothers. It's a second edition of the Day of the Dead. It looks like the painted deck. It looks there's definitely been some improvements. It looks pretty cool. Coming soon, not sure when. Then there is, coming from Dan and Dave, these new, they call them vintage aristocrat playing cards. Let's see if we can see some more images. As you can see, they have pretty nice boxes, definitely embossing on them. There is custom numbered seals, only 1,000 in each color available. And it says that right there. But the cards are just your old classic casino aristocrat backs. They're not the banknotes. They're not anything fancy. They're not anything new. In fact, these are old casino decks. They're old casino backs. They're old Cincinnati aristocrats that they have repackaged in foil and put inside of a brand new tuck case. Because. So there you are. That's what it is. I'm not a big fan of this. By the way, the only way you can get these is this Friday in their new Spring 2015 Variety Box, which will probably cost like $150 or $140 each. You can get them, and I don't know if it's going to be one or both colors. If it's both colors, it's not too bad. If it's only one color, that would stink. But I'm a little bit disappointed. I wouldn't mind getting them myself. You know, I already got aristocrats like that, but not in that box. I wouldn't mind getting them myself, but not if it means I have to buy 10 other decks that I already have and pay $150 plus shipping for it. Because I don't need them. But it would be nice if they sold these individually, you know. I don't care if it's on Order of Play, if it's on Dan and Dave's website, somewhere. But anyways, Variety Box coming out this Friday. That's tomorrow. Thing to note, point out, their Winter Variety Box is still available. It's not selling good at all. And now they're releasing this new one. And they're putting this gimmick on it where they're selling old decks in new boxes with limited edition seals. And it's just BS in my opinion. Save your money, don't bother, especially if you already got the decks. Serve as Cincinnati decks, but there's a lot of Cincinnati decks you can find elsewhere. Then there is a new, Fear 11 deck coming soon, hopefully. The Nomad, which is made by, inspired from a hotel in New York, Nomad Hotel. It looks pretty cool. Nice embossing. I look forward to it. Hopefully there will be an ample amount, that they won't be too limited. And then there is, I want to mention this one, I want to talk about this. Illusionist was teasing this over the last couple of days, and it was just a poor attempt at a April Fool's joke, Pink Fuchsia Rounders by Daniel Madison. Hopefully they don't become a reality. Obviously it's just Photoshop, I hope. They're even directing people to their website, to a fake page which no longer exists, for to go and buy them, but you couldn't buy them. They were listing them at $10, but they were not available. And on top of that, before that, 2 days ago, they were telling they were promoting it as if Black Club members had gotten an early look at these, and all the Black Club members were kind of like, really? We never got an email about this. What is this? It's BS, you know, and I called them out on it, and I think it is BS. Trying to pull a fast one. I mean, it's one thing to try and you know, put a joke, and like I said, it's one thing to try and pull a joke and have these and whatnot, but to outright say that, oh, Black Club members got a look at it previously, and now you can get a look at it, and it isn't true, well, Black Club members are going to call you out on it and ruin your whole thing. So there you go, 404, not available. That's about all. Oh, I do want to mention that I am disappointed with Club 808 so far this year. It's April now. It's been 3 months now, and we got like nothing so far. They had speaking of Zach, we had they released for members the GOAT Deco deck immediately after I got it elsewhere, and that was it. And last year it wasn't too much. This year so far there hasn't been too much, and I'm just getting annoyed by it. Anyway, that's that. By the way, coming this weekend sometime, I'll have an announcement on that soon, will be an updated deck collection. I was going to say unboxing, but updated deck collection video. I'm not going to do a complete deck collection. I'm going to copy and paste with what I already have, basically. You know, that sort of a thing. Let's check this out. That looks pretty cool. I don't know what that is, but damn. I like it. So that's coming soon, so I imagine they're going to be selling them. So look forward to those. And anyways, like I said, that collection video coming this weekend. I'm going to be taking the last one I did, and I'm going to be adding on to that what I've gotten since then. Keep in mind, and I will mention this again in the video, I do not have duplicates of pretty much anything anymore, because there's just way too many decks, and that were just sitting there collecting dust. I decided I would just keep one of each for the most part. Very few that I got duplicates on, so you're going to see duplicates in the original video that I don't have anymore in the last couple of videos. You know, the original video, the last one. Anyway, that is that. See you next time.